Guess there's really no point in even bothering to prop it up. You should likely not be able to see anything that's going on, which is going to have to be fine. um, Hello, El Mariachi, crazy Mexican fuck. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Or good morning, or whatever the fuck it is. So, I'm on the back edge of of an aborted attempt to fall asleep. Went upstairs, got comfortable, went through my usual ritual of sit down, get comfortable, get warm or whatever the fuck. Put some stupid bullshit on my phone and listen to it, and fall asleep to it. That works most nights. Whoa, dude, what is with the edge in this chat tonight? There's a lot of it going on. A lot of you guys. The darkness inside your soul and shit. I look like a giant blackhead tonight. Yeah, I should. Well, I can explain to you guys why there's no lights out here, because it's not an aesthetic choice, believe it or not. I would turn on some lights, but it just can't be done right now because I'm in Louisiana. And I guess right now is termite swarm season. Huh? Does that sound good? Does that sound like fun to you guys? Termite swarm season. So, for a few nights in the late spring here in Louisiana, giant clouds of huge winged termites come flying out of every fucking corner of the state. And at night, all they can do is seek out light sources. So, if I were to say turn on anything brighter than my all the way dimmed phone screen right now, there would literally within a few minutes be just a cloud of giant termites swarming me. But so long as I keep the lights off and shit out here, I should be okay. Yeah, this is the super late night crew. This is a stream that, you know what I mean. I, I, I don't blame anybody, even if they're a big fan of mine, for not hanging in with this one, because even more so than my early morning just woke up streams, my brain and heart are not in this one. My body is just refusing to allow me to do what I want to be doing right now, which is sleeping or vegetating to the point where I know sleep will be possible. And it's like, nope, you're not doing that. Dude, my fucking whole body has been pissed at me this entire day. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, so I got up early today to work on pulling, uh, to start research in earnest on tonight's show. I'd already got like, like an outline of what I wanted, but I pulled the bulk of what we used tonight. And I woke up and everybody here kind of went to IHOP and they were like, "Hey, yeah, you coming?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't even feel good. Like, I don't really even feel up right now. My stomach was hurting. It's like cramping and just waves of just really bad nausea." So I, pulled most of the stuff for tonight and then just relented and went back to bed and ended up crashing really hard for about 2 hours. And then woke up and felt okay, did the show. And then after the show, my stomach was still feeling like shit. Forced myself to eat a little bite of something and thought that after that I could just go to bed. But that ain't happening. Puddles, can you take off your fucking clown suit for 15 seconds, dude? Honestly, your shtick is getting old. Mm-mm. Best thing to do if you can't sleep is to do something productive like chores or even a hobby rather than just lay in bed fretting. Yeah, I mean, that's why I got up. That's why I got up. Thank you for taking care of Puddles, Doom Kid. Stupid fuck. A total fucking idiot. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm doing this, but it doesn't exactly make for the most scintillating viewing. You know, I'm not in the entertain people gear. I'm in the low key chilling Paul gear. But for some reason, I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't feel like doing what I would normally do, playing a video game, or I just don't feel like competent enough to write on any of the scripts I'm working on right now. I don't feel like my brain is engaged enough to do any good work there. So it's just like something semi-productive that I can do is Highdeology, even if I'm definitely not in the mode. So once again, yeah, that's your warning. This will probably be a very, very low energy stream. So, you know, you are warned. I want to stop the flow of everyone's cardioid arteries in the chat. Why, Bobby Bush? Why are you being so mean? I'm actually more productive when I have something playing in the background, like one of these. Yeah, it can help to have some side content. I actually do some really weird shit. Well, it's not weird to me, but other people that have walked up on me doing it find it weird. I'll oftentimes listen. It's such a weird thing. It's hard to explain to people. I'll listen to two things at once while also doing something. So um, it's not uncommon for me to be watching a movie that I've seen before, usually that I'm familiar with enough that I can dip in and out of it and understand what's going on, and a live stream, or any combination thereof, so two live streams or a movie and a live stream. Um, I'll oftentimes even catch myself listening to songs at the same time. It's a really weird habit that I have. And usually when I become cognizant that I'm doing it, I have to stop. But I do it without even thinking. I'll start watching something and there'll be something about, like, instead of pausing it like, I assume everybody else does, I open up another tab and start looking for something else to watch, and when I find it, I just leave both of them up on the screen. I don't know. I have my therapist and friend who passed away in 2016 um, used to say that I had what he called an unquiet mind. He said that people's minds work at different speeds and at different efficiencies and are typified by different thought patterns, and that my mind, from the way that I described it to him, was an unquiet mind, a mind that didn't find itself at rest often. Even when my body was at rest, my mind is always chewing on something, and that is absolutely true. And sometimes there's not enough I can do. You know what I mean? I feel unfulfilled, like I feel like my brain is in need of more outside stimulation. Even when I'm doubled up, listening to two different things, paying attention to two different streams of consciousness while writing or working or editing. Paul, what games do you recommend for people who are not gamers and do not have any consoles? I haven't played any games regularly in 7+ years, and I was curious as to what you recommend. I mean, I don't know. Video games are not. They've gotten complex and diverse enough that you can't really recommend a catch-all without knowing what a person is interested in, right? Um, I could give you puzzle games. I could give you action games. All of the ilk of not having to invest a whole lot of time in them. Um, I guess, an easy one that you can drop in and drop out of, and you can play a million different ways, a million different times, would be, get into the Diablo series. Even if you get into three at this point, like, I really wouldn't recommend it over two or one, but, if you'd like the more modern take on it, it's not a bad game now after it's gone through the ringer. So, but I like those kind of ARPGs, they call them, dungeon crawlers and shit. Um, there's also a really good one that you can probably get pretty cheap on Steam. It's an older game, but I really like it. It's called Titan Quest. Get the anniversary edition that comes with, you know, the expansion pack and stuff. But man, dude, I've played so many hours of Titan Quest. It's such a great game. So I really like those for just kind of turn your brain off content, and content that I don't feel like you really got to be a gamer to understand and appreciate. I mean, play the same genre that you used to play 7 years ago, as you said. Yeah, why not? Openness comes with proclivity for parallelism. What's that? 250K in student loans, and it finally paid off in a YouTube chat. Wow, dude, cool. It sounded pretty deep. I don't really know what it means, bro, but I can see your college paying off. Titan Quest was released back in 2006. That's ancient as far as games go. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, dude, you won't be disappointed if you get it. It's a great looking game still for being that old, because it's not a game that's super duper reliant on high end visuals. It's a top down, two-thirds perspective ARPG, but it's got some really cool graphics and a really cool leveling system that allows you to kind of step outside of the boundaries of class and build a character however you want. Whether you go down one tree or you multi-class the character, you know, it's a really fun game, man. I can't suck its dick enough. Titan Quest was an underappreciated gem at its time. Pillars 2 hype. Pillars. Whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, are you all out of story times, Paul? No, probably not. I mean, just the other night, I was doing one of these and thought of a couple of stories that I hadn't told you guys before just because we happened to go down a topical line that made me think of them. So, yeah, dude, I actually just installed Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I haven't played it yet. I've owned it for a while. I think I got it as part of a Humble Bundle or some shit, and I just haven't had a chance to play it. But I remembered I had it, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that game looked really interesting. So I don't know. I haven't started it yet, but I'm kind of I'm really not into The Witcher, guys. I own the first two Witcher games with all of their DLC, and I've tried now twice to beat the first Witcher, and it's not out of difficulty. I just get bored. Here's what happens when I play The Witcher 1. I beat the first mission, and I actually kind of have a good time, although the side quests start to get a little tedious and repetitive. And, but, the first big mission where you go to the, little hamlet town or whatever the fuck, and there's like a beast attacking or whatever. I don't even remember what it is, but it ends up being this chick that's involved, and you can fuck her. And then after that, you go to the big town, like the bigger area, and it's at that point I get bored every time I try and play the Witcher, because what happens is that you can no longer follow the main quest, because if you get to the big city and immediately start following the main quest, you're out leveled, and you get through all the side quests and you're still under leveled for the main quest content, and you're really expected in the Witcher 1 to go out and grind and grind and grind and grind and level up and go into the sewers and grind and grind and grind. And it's at that point that I just go, well, I don't want to play this game anymore. Not really interested. On the other hand, there are games that grinding is almost a part of them, and I get sucked into them. Final Fantasy 15, for example. Playing that slowly but surely, just in chunks as I can. And I'm telling you, dude, I'm having a hard time going on with the plot because I feel like I want to finish all these side quests and shit. I'm absurdly over leveled for the plot right now. Like I'm at least I don't know 15, maybe even approaching 20 levels above what I should be for the plot. But I can't stop doing all the little side things, you know. Like I feel that it's engaged this completionist thing in me that very few games manage to scratch. But it's a sign of a really good game if I get into it enough that I feel like I want to do everything, or at least do my best to do everything the first time I play it. Other games that have done that to me, Red Dead Redemption is one of them. Um, there was a game called Sleeping Dogs that a lot of people probably don't remember now, kind of a GTA ripoff. That did that to me as well. I did every fucking side quest, every side mission, every secret thing, you know. Have you thought about streaming some games? I've talked about it with you guys before, what my trepidation is with that. Because here's the thing. I spend so much time doing streams and public stuff and making videos that are eventually public that a lot of my free time has become centered around those things. And I'm afraid that if I start doing game streams and people like them, that I'm going to feel obligated to keep doing them, or that it's going to become a significant chunk of how I do business, you know, that it's going to catch on, people are going to like. I'm not saying that's guaranteed. I just don't want to risk video games for that because video games for me are an opportunity for me to turn my brain off, to not be Paul's ego for a few minutes, to not be an internet personality for a few minutes, to not worry about the fact that there are people watching and listening to what I'm doing and that I have to be entertaining for a few minutes and just put my feet up and play a game and lose myself for a little while. And I'm reluctant to give that up, you know. And it's not that I don't have fun, you know, sharing, because I had fun. You know, I did a couple of streams where I was playing Subnautica with you guys, and it was fun having you guys along for that. I didn't feel like you know, it was super intrusive, but I could feel it. You know, I could feel that moving that way. I could feel my mind moving that way towards a more like, you need to be entertaining, you need to be entertaining, you need to be entertaining, and it wasn't chill time for me anymore. Whereas when I started playing Subnautica, it was chill time for me. It was kick your feet up time, and then I really liked the game, and I started streaming it, and then it was no longer chill time. You know. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling now. Yeah, I've got all the Mountain Blades, and I've played some of them, and I really do enjoy them. Whatever they are, you know, Mountain Blade Warband and Mountain Blade Fire and Swords, or whatever the fuck it is. um, and I've played a few of them. I just, I don't know. I must have moved on to another game or lost interest for some reason in the Mountain Blade franchise. I just didn't stick with it. That's very typical of games, though, with me. I am a serial game starter, not completer. I don't really get a lot of satisfaction from beating games, unless, of course, it's a game that really manages to suck me in. But I'm not one of those dudes that feels like, well, I've spent 15 hours with this game. I should probably see it through. I don't have that. Like, if a game starts to suck or I get bored, I just go to another game. Like, I don't remember the factions from Mountain Blade, to be honest with you. At least not what they were called. I never did very well at Mountain Blade because, you know, I don't think I played long enough to understand what it was I was supposed to be doing. I liked some of it. I liked the concept. I liked what little bit I learned about it, but it just kind of fell off for me. I felt kind of headless and directionless, I think, which is what happens to me a lot with sandbox games. Are you scared of the darkness? No. No, I actually like dark. I'm cool with dark. Swadia, Serenids, Rhodoks, Nords, and Kurgits. Yeah, okay. That sounds familiar. Kingdom Come Deliverance was so underwhelming. Yeah, never played it, so. You use the darkness, and I was born into it. Did you like Perfect Dark? I loved styling on my friends in Perfect Dark. I can tell you that much. That was a game. There were two games in my childhood, maybe three, where I felt dominant amongst my friends who all played the games. And those games were definitely Perfect Dark. And then there was a game for the PS1 called James Bond Agent Under Fire, which I was unstoppable and unbeatable at in a multiplayer scenario. I was just like, I don't mean to brag, but I was just too fucking good. I was too fucking good. I was too good. Nobody could beat me. None of my friends could beat me. They couldn't even take a game off of me. We used to make a joke about it. Like, they would double up. Like, we'd play like three versus, a three-person free-for-all, but they would team up and not shoot each other and only go after me, and I would beat them. And it was easier because it was like just more targets, more stupid targets that weren't going to land a hit on me significantly. I was really good at the game. And then the third one, I was really, really mad decent at Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES. I got good with Shao Kahn, and that was that, dude. I was kind of untouchable. You play Overwatch? Not often, but I do. From time to time, I boot up Overwatch, check out the new heroes. I like playing Overwatch, but I don't know if you guys will understand this, and I don't know if I'll fucking express it properly, but we can go down this road. You know what kills Overwatch for me? Tryhardism. That's it. Like, the game is permeated with tryhards who are just constantly like trying to yell and scream and fucking play at a level that they're not at, and nobody's having fun playing the game. It's treated like a fucking job. And it's just like, man, what is the fucking point? Like, your team, like, if you don't come out the gate winning, half your team tilts because they have so much invested in it that they can't play anymore and switches to some troll fucking pick. And you lose a long, slogging, grinding game trying your best while your tilted ass fucking tryhard team falls apart. And it's just like nobody's having fun, nobody's having a good time. And it makes me not want to play the game. And it's really not a game that, like, say whatever you want about me in multiplayer games. I'm not really good at them, like especially MOBA style games. And I consider Overwatch to be a MOBA, even though it's an FPS. I think it's got way more in common with a fucking MOBA than an FPS. But whatever, we can argue that some other time. Point being, I'm not all that good, but I never ever tilt to the point where I just give up and start feeding and shit. I never get to the point, like, I'm always trying my best. And it's really frustrating, because, that's the whole point of the game. Try your best, and if your best is better than the other teams, you win. And if it isn't, you lose, and you learn, and you move on. But people can't play that way. And it infects the way I feel about the game, too. It makes me feel like there's more writing on the game than there should be. And so I get all salty and pissed off. And it just, it's not fun. It's just not fun. It's not fun. Like, I think about other multiplayer FPS experiences that I've had outside of Overwatch. Like, Quake 3 Arena was a fucking fantastic multiplayer experience. And it was so just jump in, jump out. There was no tryhardism because there was no genuine league of ranking system, or, nobody was trying to be fucking a pro Quake 3 player, even though there were people back there playing tournaments and shit. I'm just saying, like, not everybody was chasing that dream. They just liked jumping into Quake 3 and trying to get the rocket launcher and seeing how many kills they could get, or jumping into a weird ass match with a custom map that just launches people across a great empty void over and over again. And it's nothing but sniper rifles. There was an element of fun to it. And yeah, even back then there were toxic motherfuckers, but it didn't matter because winning didn't matter as much. People were there to have a good time. And for me, part of that good time was killing other people. And, I sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't, but I never felt like there's anything important writing on it. It was downtime. And Overwatch doesn't feel that way. I'm really glad to know Paul gets the vibe of multiplayer in Quake Doom. It's so damn fun and it doesn't feel committal. Yeah, it's drop in, drop out. Like, here's the thing. A lot of the things I like to play most in Quake 3 Arena were the endless deathmatch mode, which was basically a drop in, drop out deathmatch between, teams of 10 versus 10 or 5 versus 5 or 20 versus 20 or whatever. And you could leave at any point. So if you played for a few minutes and realized that people on the other team were way higher than you just leave the game and go join another fucking server. It's like, you know what I mean? You don't feel like you have to sit there and get stomped and waste 30 minutes while they just style on you the whole time. Like, if you end up in a total mismatch, you go somewhere else. And you know what happens? Your team isn't fucked up because as soon as you drop out, somebody else drops in. Somebody takes your spot and joins their team. So at worst, they're down a guy for, a minute while somebody fucking joins the server. And if it's a popular server, it's going to be way less than that. They probably won't even notice me being gone. But in Overwatch, I feel like, I can't tell you guys how many times I've opened up Overwatch and gone like, you know what, I'll play a couple games of Overwatch. What the fuck ever. And I open it up and I get to the title screen and I go to play and I go to hit start quick match or whatever the fuck, or, enter queue for quick match, and I can't hit it. I end up just closing the game and playing something else because I don't want to commit 20 minutes of my time or 25 minutes of my time or 30 minutes of my time or whatever it takes to get into the game, to wait for the queue and then to get into the game and then to go through hero select and then to get through the game and risk it being a total fucking waste because it's just a bunch of people that don't want to play the game or are pissed off at each other for not playing the way they think they should be. And so everybody's, you're just losing, but you have to stay there because if you leave, you get penalized. Fuck that. Fuck that shit, dude. I like this. I like the non-committal shit. I like the drop in, drop out shit. The games that I don't mind that in, like I don't mind that in MOBAs. Like I like that in Heroes of the Storm or Dota 2. Dota 2 is on the outskirts for me because it's such a long game. Like it's like it could be like a 45-minute, hour-long game in Dota 2. Heroes is kind of designed to be wrapped up in 30 minutes max. But I like that. I like that style of things. But when it comes to shooters, I really miss the drop in, drop out. This competitive shit has killed it. It's killed it. This like you could be the next superstar. It's like, no, you couldn't. No, no. If you were the next fucking Overwatch superstar, you'd already be it. Like, just play the game and have fun, man. And if you want, watch the pros play and go, Jesus, man, whoa. And I'm not saying don't play and get better. I'm just saying stop aiming for the fucking moon. Like stop pretending that this quick match that I just joined is gonna get you into the fucking LCS or some shit or whatever the fucking LCS of Overwatch is. You know what I mean? Like, have fun. And you know what? In the early days of Overwatch, I did have fun. I played during the beta before it released, and because it was just memes, I had some fucking hilarious games. I had games where all five of us would pick fucking um, Bastion, on one of the point maps where you have to push the cart to the enemy, end zone or whatever the fuck, and we'd all just, there'd be like four fucking bastions and a, or not bastions. I always get them fucked up. No, yeah, bastion. That's right. There'd be four bastions set up on the point, and one Reinhardt shield. Like one guy playing Reinhardt just blocking all the incoming damage. You know what I mean? And it was fun. People were willing to try memes and have a good time playing. And oops, if you get squashed trying that, oh well, good game, guys. You'll see you next time or whatever. That's how Overwatch felt during the beta and right after release. But it just devolved. Like something happened when it became a huge game and the general community got involved. It became this like super, like, just, I don't know, just super try hard game. And I don't like it. So, Vampire the Masquerade, bought it recently, haven't played it yet. Yeah, that's a really great game. Um, Depending on where you bought it, you might have gotten it from Good Old Games and they might already come pre installed, but you should look into mods for the game, particularly bug fixes. And there's a big content patch that was cut out of the original game due to time that was added back in a fan patch that's a must. So it's definitely a game that you want to spend a little bit of time reading about how to mod it and get it perfect for your machine. But it's a great game, man. That's a game that I'd love to play with you guys sometime. That would be a definite like sit down and stream it every once in a while type of game because it's really cool. Yeah, I'd probably do game streams here, although I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it'd make sense for me to just start doing Twitch if I want to do that. Goat versus fish. Here's the unseen one. Are you goat or fish? I'm both goat and fish. Overwatch generated a lot of good Rule 34 content. Well, I mean, that's part of it. Like, that's not what I dislike about Overwatch. The characters are really cool. I love the characters. I love playing some of the characters. And, I love seeing the new ones that they add. I mean, Blizzard has always been good at that character design shit. I love the gameplay of Overwatch. It's a lot of fun to jump into and play. It's the community that keeps me from playing it. 110%. WoW is a drop in, drop out game to me. I played Battlegrounds for a month or so, then get away from it for a number of months. Used to be a hardcore. I never got hardcore into WoW, but I treated it like that for a number of years as well. Um, the problem with that is that the end game is. I guess you don't really have to worry about that though. I've never been like one of those super duper competitive dudes that wanted to have all the latest fucking gear and shit. It's like having fun, so World of Warcraft was good for that, as long as you didn't want to play the guild shit, because they'd kick you out of guilds and shit if you didn't show up for 3 months. Connect 4 is a good multiplayer game. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. CRPGs that aren't Baldur's Gate. I mean, Planescape Torment comes to mind. Um, there's a really good. It's another D&D game, but it isn't Baldur's Gate, and it's done in a totally different engine. It's fuck. Uh, the Temple of Elemental Evil. It's a top-down, turn-based RPG, a la Baldur's Gate in CRPG style. Then there's the Fallout games; those are CRPGs. There's the Wasteland series of games, which are all good. I mean, there's a lot of CRPGs out there, man. Icewind Dale. Somebody said that in the chat just now, and definitely recommend that one as well. Divinity, yeah, Divinity 2 and Divinity Original Sin, both good CRPGs, more modern. I would love to play Street Fighter 2 against you, Portal. There's a pretty good classic SF2 online community, plays well over the net. That's fun. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't really, I mean, I like playing fighting games and shit, but I don't really find myself having much time for that shit anymore. At least not enough time to sit and, like, get better at it, which is what I feel I need to do in order to actually play it. I can't just, like, jump into these games anymore. I own Rocket League, but I've actually never played it, so I can't really give you an opinion. It looks interesting. I've seen other people play it. Is Ashley's butthole tasty like a milk dud, dude? You should play it. Well, maybe I will. Yeah, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was a different kind of Baldur's Gate game. It wasn't the CRPG style. It was, more Diablo style hack and slash ARPG. It was a lot of fun. That one was fun solo too. I had a lot of fun playing that game. I beat it with all three of the different characters that you could pick. I think it was like warrior, archer, mage, right? Yeah. Do you ever get into any Mario games of any era? um, I mean, when I got an original Nintendo when it was still the best console out, the new, So of course I had Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers and 2 and 3. So I played the shit out of those. I probably played those more than any of the other Mario games. I never got a Nintendo 64. So I never got super into Mario 64, although I have played a bunch of it. And the only other Mario game that I ever got into in terms of like really beating it and playing it a bunch was Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. I believe it was the Cube. Yeah, that was one of the 15 games or so that I had for my GameCube, and I played the ever loving shit out of Mario Sunshine. So, yep, I like the Mario games. I haven't played any of them really. I haven't played Galaxy at all. I've watched other people play them. They look like they're a lot of fun. Is White Guilt Paul a racist meme? I don't think so. How about Near Automata or Automata? I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to be saying that. I've played. I started playing that game right before we moved from Washington to Louisiana. And since we've been here, life has been so crazy and the schedule so hectic that I haven't even set up my PS4, which is what I own it for. It's still sitting in a box. Um, so I kind of I'd probably have to start the game over at this point, which is a shame. Like I hate that about RPGs, but it's so true. Like you get to a certain point and you just forget what you're doing. You forget half of the things that you're capable of doing because you haven't played the game in 6 months. It's like been 6 months since I played it, and I played probably a quarter of the game. Maybe even more. So I'd have to replay the entire fucking game from the start. None of you hipsters have played the first Nier. I actually have played the first Nier. I didn't like it, but I played it. I bought it cheap on sale at a GameStop. It was a used game. Read the back of it, sounded cool. Played it. Wasn't super into it. Thought it was way different than any other game I'd ever played, but I have played it. Got it for 10 beans. Why you stop streaming Subnautica? I don't know. Got tired of it, I guess. I love the new God of War. Okay. I beat Subnautica, and all I left behind in the time capsule was a dead fish. That's fucked up, dude. I found a time capsule or two, and you know, they've left me some pretty good shit. Orange. Yes, Kane. She had a bulge. Okay. You ever tried master? Oh, get out of here, just spooge. I'm blocking you because I fucking saw that stupid ass, retarded ass bitch made fucking comment once and skipped it. So you're just a dumb fuck, dude. You're not funny. The fuck out of here. Hope you get funny in 300 seconds. Dust spooge. Ugh. I hate a dumb mother. Like, it's one thing to be an unfunny motherfucker, and it's one thing to be an unfunny motherfucker that thinks he's funny. The fuck out of here. Ugh. Pissing me right the fuck off. He's a feeder on Overwatch for sure. How's the cat? Feels like he's doubling in size every fucking day. Hey, Paul, if I come to the meetup with my friend dressed as bananas, will you smoke my dab pen with me? Dude, I'll smoke your dab pen with you no matter what. But if you come dressed as bananas, then I'll do nothing but hang around you all night and smoke the dab pen with you. Because you'll be the coolest person in the room. When people want to come and talk to me, or get an autograph or a picture with me, they're going to have to go through you. You understand what I'm saying? That puts you in my cool book. He'll dress as gorilla. Oh, shit, dude. Yeah, fuck these mosquitoes. Fuck these fucking termites. It's fuck nature. You're not mad about the little Wikipedia article back and forth we had, I hope. I don't really think you have BPD. I don't even know what you're talking about, so I must not be mad about it. Red Dead 2 is gonna be fire. Probably. Dude, I cannot tell you how much cool shit we have planned for this LA meetup. It's gonna be so fucking awesome. I'm so like happy to be doing like with all of the experience of the other DP meetups that we've done in the past under our belts and knowing the ins and outs of the different kinds of places. Like this is going to be the culmination of all that experience and the realization of something that we all wanted to do from the very start with these, which was make it a real show with music and games and audience interaction and filming it so that we can show it to people who couldn't be there. You know, it's going to be awesome. The LA meetup is going to be in late July. I'm pretty sure the date is going to be the 21st or 22nd, but don't quote me on that. We haven't secured the date fully with the venue yet, although they've told us that it's open and we are in negotiations to get the ball rolling with them. Once they've got the money, they will set up the ticketing site, and we'll give that to you guys, and it'll be off to the races. Um, it's a venue that holds 260 people max. I think there's a good chance that we fill it. I think there's a more than good chance that we fill it. I think that there are probably, I don't know, it might be a little overzealous to think that we'll sell it out, but I think that there's a really good chance that we're near or at capacity. And it's going to be fucking awesome. When we did the DP meetup in LA, well over 200 people showed. And there was really no show. It was just, basically them hanging out with us. So this is that plus the capacity is 300, and that's including anybody that has anything to do with us and staff. So the actual door capacity is something like 260, 265, I think. It's a place, the place that we're looking at. Once again, 90% sure that we're going to get at this point has a stage, a lighting and sound engineer that will be present to help us run sound cues, full PA hookups and full professional audio setup for music. Um, Bands, they mostly host bands there. So it's set up exactly for what we need. They have an on site videographer who will handle filming the event for us. Um, it's going to be awesome. I'm telling you, this is a whole different thing. See, we didn't want to spend all night shilling it tonight, and you guys are going to be hearing a lot about this meetup, because we really want to make sure that people understand that it's a meetup, but it's something that we have never done before. It's a different style of meetup. This is going to be more like a show. We're trying to blend the idea of a show with the idea of a meetup, and I think we're going to be very successful at that. Um, Given all of the other venues that we've done and the different things that we've tried there that have worked and not worked. So it's going to be awesome, guys. And letting people know ahead of time lets people think about spending their vacation this summer doing this. Like I said, it's in LA, so it's not like you have to fly just for that. Um, we're not the only thing in LA. A GoFundMe for tickets to the DFF meetup. There you go. It's one of those things, like, if we're successful at this, then it's a given that these are going to, you know, be a recurring thing. And the more success we have at this first one, the more we can consider doing some of these other places. So it's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be really, really cool. And the great thing about it is that we're probably going to be gone for a week, but people that don't get to go won't even notice because we're going to pre-record some shows. So I mean, it's just going to be, it'll be seamless. It'll be like it should be, which is no interruption to anybody on the channel that expects content, but still getting to leave the show for long enough to go and have fun, to rest ourselves a little bit. We're not going to need a week to do one meetup, but I have a feeling we're going to want to stay for a while and kick our feet up and get out of town a little bit. And gives us the opportunity to do that without interrupting any content, which is awesome. Well, you'll have pre-recorded shows and everything. You guys have really leveled shit up this. I mean, we're trying, dude. We're trying to learn from our past mistakes and our take our past lessons and apply them in ways that work for everybody. And I'm sure we'll fall down on some of our goals, but I really like the direction that the show is going, and not just in terms of monetary growth. I'm happy with that too. I'm happy with the way it feels to do this show. that means that statement means a lot to me, but probably doesn't mean a lot, uh, to those of you that aren't performing on the show. But I just like the feel of this show. I like that it can be whatever it wants to be. It's not. I don't feel pigeonholed in this show. I don't feel like I have to be wacky or I have to be serious or I have to, and I don't feel like that when that tone changes, it should be a big deal. Like on this show, it is whatever we want it to be. We can cover things from any perspective that we want to cover them from. We can talk about whatever we want and we control the context. We can develop any kind of segment for this show that we want. We can try any crazy bit or character that we want in the context of the show. It's just, it's a liberating show to do. And I'm happy that not only that people are digging it and are, really stepping up to support it, but I'm happy to be a part of something that's growing in that way, you know. So that's pretty cool. Was it me that made you guys do an episode on the death penalty with my comment? I don't know. I do know that we changed plans for today. I guess I can say what the patron only episode was supposed to be today. It was supposed to be another serial killer profile. This one on the human vampire from Japan. But when we went looking, we found that real information on him and his background and his crimes was pretty scant and pretty easily covered. So there was not enough meat on the bone to do an entire show. And yeah, it might have been one of your comments on one of these shows that sparked the idea to do the death penalty show, but it just made sense. Will you upload the live DFF to patrons? I don't see why not. I think that would probably be a foregone conclusion, yes. As extra content for those of you that couldn't make it, yeah. I think that there's probably a good chance that, depending on the quality of the footage and stuff, that we might do a video on demand release for it to people outside of our Patreon as well. Whether that's ordering a DVD or just ordering the video from Vimeo or some shit. I'm not sure, but it would make sense for us to monetize that content in some way. But yeah, it's gonna be straight out, balls out, fucking great. Was so happy that Marshall was stoked and amenable to doing it. Just having a musical act there that not only kicks fucking ass, but has his finger on the pulse of the community in the way that Marshall does is going to be awesome. I mean, all the old memes and all the old songs and Marshall's new album, and it's just going to be great. It's going to be a great fucking time. Streams put me in a good mood. Have $2, Paul. Thanks, man. Damn, Paul, getting emotional, huh? Glad that you're happy with the content, man. Keep it up. I don't know about emotional, but yeah. I'm trying to keep my voice down a little bit because I'm outside and we've got neighbors. So if I sound a little hushed or weepy, it's because of that. Thinking about asking Lazy J for an instrumental and covering one of his songs. Oh man, that'd be awesome. I mean, I don't know where Lazy J is located, but it'd be awesome to have him come and just do a cameo with you too. You guys could do a duet. When are the tickets for the... Uh-oh. Did you die? Did you die? Paul has a big heart. Seriously, it's as big as a canned ham. Probably. It probably is. Enlarged. Paul talking too much. Bullying the silence, as always. Yeah. It's my job to make sure that the silence never gets a foothold in anybody's life that's within earshot of me. No silence for you. Fill the silence. Weepy Paul, saddest of them all. It was weird in high school all of a sudden since the new run of Trailer Park Boys. They became much more popular. What? Get out of here. Who cares about Trailer Park Boys? Who's talking about motherfucking Trailer Park Boys? I'm telling you, Lance, dude, if we're announcing the dates really soon. If you jump on it and get your tickets, you can book a train or a bus from Illinois. I mean, that's a long ass bus ride, but it's cheap as fuck. If you plan ahead, you know, scrimp on the motel. You don't have to stay in a nice ass motel, and you don't have to stay in a motel that's near the venue. See, that's the thing. It might seem like you've got to get a motel or a place to stay that's within a block of the venue because, man, I can get drunk and just stumble home. But, like, Uber, dude. Uber. Like, get a cheap hotel somewhere that's, a reasonable distance from the venue. And then when you're drunk and ready to go home after the show's done, you just call an Uber and they drive you there. You don't. You could do it. You can go to, like, there are places that you can stay on the outskirts of LA, 20 minutes from where the venue will probably be or whatever the fuck, that are cheap as fuck. And a Greyhound bus ticket or a train ticket from Illinois to LA is going to be, especially in comparison to a flight, cheap as fuck. You know? You could stay for a few days if you wanted, pay for a couple of more days at the hotel and just bum around LA, go to the ArcLight and see some movies, fucking see some of the sights, hit up a fucking theme park if that's your shit. There's like 15 of them in LA. like. Well, if you do attend Goat versus Fish, let me know who you are. Come up to me at the venue and let me know that you're goat versus fish so that I can tell you the true answer as to whether or not I'm a goat or a fish, okay? I will only tell you in person. I'll be bringing a sleeping bag. Way cheaper than a motel. All right, Doom Kid. I don't know that you want to be sleeping in a sleeping bag underneath the stars in LA County anywhere. I don't know that I would vouch for your safety, but okay, man, I ain't gonna stop you. You's a grown man. After party at Disneyland? Nah, probably not. I know I won't be going to any theme parks. If I'm in LA for a week, I probably won't even stay in LA for the whole week. I'll probably be in LA for a couple of days, maybe a day or two before the venue, then the show, then the day after, and then I'll probably go to Pismo or some shit for a few days with Ashley and just chill at the beach before we go home. It's so cool that you're going to have your meetups. Too bad I'm separated some 8 kilometers from you guys. I'd love to get a chance to meet y'all. Well, I mean, dude, look, where there's a will, there's a way, my friend. And like I said, if these are successful, I don't want to undercut the success of this by telling people that they're going to be all over the world. And then people go like, "Oh, well Paul said that like after this one they're going to be all over the world, so I'll just wait for that one." I don't know where exactly we're going to end up to being able to do these. They're not going to be super frequent no matter what. And I don't know if we'll ever get close to you enough to make it justifiable. Um, I am telling you that every time we've done one of these meetups, at least in the Drunken Peasants days, there were people from all over the motherfucking world at every one of them. It blew my mind. Like people would walk up from Scotland and from fucking England, from Germany and from Switzerland and shit, introduce themselves and say that they flew all the way there just to meet us. It was insane. There was a dude that when we did our meetup in fucking uh, Columbus, Ohio, he drove all the way from California to Columbus just to chill with us for a day and then turned around the next morning and drove back. It's like, so I'm telling you, man, when there's a will, there's a way. When we were in New Mexico, there was a dude from southern Mexico that was a fan of ours that was there. He told me that he stole a fucking car to get there. I don't know if that was true or not, but he said, when I heard you guys were coming to New Mexico, I thought, that's probably the closest to where I'm at that they'll ever get. So I stole a car and I drove it across the border just to be here with you guys tonight. I was like, whoa, okay, dude, cool. Grand Theft Bandito. All right, you guys hang in there for a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go refill my. Oh, god damn it, fucking mosquito. Ugh, disgusting. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Not that it matters, but I've returned. Come on. There we go. Light, little candle, light. Give you guys a little something to look at. It won't be enough to light me, but you'll be able to look at the little candles, and hopefully they will help to keep the mosquitoes the fuck off of me, which is what I would like. A candle in the darkness. Isn't it nice? Yeah. Let's do a seance. It's the witching hour. You ever seen the movie Mosquito? No. I wonder if Paul has any subs from 2007 that have followed him all the way to the DFF days. I don't think there's a few people. I've had a few people say that they've been watching me ever since way back in the day, kind of keeping tabs on all the crazy bullshit I've gone through. But there's no doubt in my mind that the vast majority of people that watch me are here because of my time on the Drunken Peasants and my association with TJ. Good morning. Good morning. Have you ever eaten at a Wayback Burger? Yep. I've had Wayback Burger and Wayback sauce and all the Wayback shit. I've had it. Yep. Had it in Washington for the first time. Spook you? I'm not gonna spook you. I got nothing spooky up my sleeve, okay? There's a Chipotle down the street from me, bro. I don't have any scary stories here for you guys. I don't really know any that I haven't already told, so I can't help you there. They deliver Chipotle where I live. That's nice, dude. I mean, they deliver it here too, but it's nice that they do when you're where you live. Do I like Louisiana? I like some things about Louisiana. I hate other things about it. It's a, I've got a, my relationship status with Louisiana is it's complicated, but I guess that's better than outright hating every fabric of every fucking thing about where you live. You know, there are some things I can appreciate about Louisiana. If I'm not into DFF now, do you think the upcoming changes you mentioned could change my mind? No. What changes have I mentioned? Like, really, like, whether or not you're into DFF is up to you. It's going to be a show with a wildly varied tone. So you're going to get shows that have a more serious bent to them. You're going to get shows where they're totally comical and nonsensical and pointless. You're going to get various content of various types, with the same personalities kind of guiding you through it. That's what DFF is. That's what it's always going to be. So, nah, Paul, I was introduced to you on The Drunken Peasants. I watch you for you. I like you and TJ individually, but y'all are still amazing as a package. Cool. Is there any exotic animal you've wanted to try that you haven't, like ostrich or venison? Like meat wise? I can't think of an animal that I really am desperate to eat that I haven't. So, no, I guess not. I'm not a real meat adventurous person, though. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like. I remember when Trump got elected, you guys were like, yay, so much fodder. And only a few months in, everyone was sick of his shit. We had no idea. I mean, nobody had any idea at that point what a fucking constant dominance of the news cycle that he was going to enforce. Like, I knew that he was going to be in the news a lot. There was going to be a lot of foibles and fumbles, but I didn't know there were going to be multiples every day to the point where people were sick of hearing about them. Like, that's definitely a strategy I didn't see coming, but it worked. You know. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, nobody knew what to expect. At least of all, I think Trump. I don't think Trump had a fucking clue what he was going to do when he got in there. So how could any of us? JF is about to surpass you in subs. Thoughts? None. I don't give a fuck. Subs mean nothing. Like, maybe you missed last night's stream, but TJ and I had a long conversation about how subs used to be like this thing that you could like lord over other people. But now TJ, who's got over 1 million subs, has a channel that is inferior to Sargon, who has nowhere near as many, because Sargon is getting way more views, way more engagement, all of that stuff. So, I mean, somebody doing better than me is never going to bother me on YouTube. I'm here to carve out my niche. I don't have any king of the hill fantasies. TJ might, but those are his. When it comes to me, I just want to be entertaining. I want to garner a niche audience that likes what I do. I want to find people that think the way that I do, that enjoy my perspective on life, and want to hear me do more of it. I don't want to be the biggest comedian in the world. I don't want to be the most giant podcast that ever fucking existed. If those things happen, great, but that's not what I'm not. I'm aiming to be funny and to be interesting and to have an audience that's loyal enough to follow me around and watch what I do, try the things that I try. But you got to give him credit. Absolutely. I mean, look, dude, that's the hot shit right now. This like right wing populist, you know, uh, secure a fucking future for white people message is like that's what's selling right now on YouTube. You know, the right and all of its shades. They call it the red wave for a reason, but I can't do that. I don't surf the red wave. I don't surf whatever's popular. I keep speaking the way I want to speak, no matter what the current political climate is, and I do that because that's how I can put my head on the pillow and go to sleep at night. You know, I mean, make no bones about it. I could be a fucking great huckster. This is not me just, I mean, it might be me patting myself on the back, but I don't think it's wildly out of wing. I could play whatever I wanted to. I could be whatever I wanted to be as an internet personality. I mean, I've done little skits here with you guys that could be right out of the mouths of one of these right wing personalities or one of these Christian personalities. If I was just interested in selling things to you guys and selling ideas to you guys, I could be whatever the fuck I wanted to be. I could have come at you guys any way I wanted to come, and I could change with the wind. I could constantly walk around with my finger up in the air and find a way to segue to whatever else is popular. But I'm not interested in that. That's just not my thing, you know. I don't find myself aligning with, either of the political binaries or, either of the two choices we're giving. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a third party voter or an undecided or a centrist. I'm just a guy that's totally disillusioned with the process, has lost complete faith in my participation in it mattering, and that's it. I thought about having a show where everyone only ever agrees with me to get more subs. But then I thought I would be eventually dead inside if I did that. Well, there you go. To thine own self be true. I'm neither a Democrat nor a Republican, and I'm reasonably sane. Was a quote from Zappa. Thought that's what you were about to say. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can definitely identify with that sentiment. My favorite Ween songs, "Happy Colored Marbles." "Happy Colored Marbles" is a great song. Um, I don't know, man. I love Ween. Any opinions on Rand Paul? Don't agree with him on everything, but he seems like he'd be okay. I mean, he had a reasonable role model, right? And Ron Paul. I mean, say what you want about his politics, and he's definitely got some things that I'm couldn't be more opposite on. But when it comes to being a politician that has a little bit of backbone and character and is willing to stand alone and speak truth to power, at least Rand Paul got to watch that growing up and can emulate that. So I can see that in him. His kind of like ability to stick to principle. So you got to give props to these, you know, fucking politicians when they do something good, because so few of them ever do. I like the live sets Ween did more than their album recordings sometimes too, like with Ocean Man. Yeah, I mean, they actually did like a studio album that is a live album called Live in Chicago. That's really brilliant. Some of my favorite renditions of some of their most popular songs are on that album. So who is your favorite Whack Pack member? We're talking about the Stern Show now, which alienates most of the people that are in here watching, but whatever. Whack Pack. Um, I really liked Hank The Angry Drunken Dwarf. I really liked Eric the Midget. Both of them midgets, so I guess I like midgets. Eric the Midget was probably my favorite, more modern whack packer, and Hank was probably my favorite old school one. Beetlejuice is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I take Eric the Midget over Beetlejuice any day. I'm watching one stream and just chatting in this one, bit trippy. Paul seems like he's in a good mood tonight, and kinda. I'm a little pissed off that I can't be asleep right now, and that my body feels no closer now than it did 75 minutes ago when I started this stream to achieving that goal. But this just happens to me sometimes, man. Sometimes sleep is just not gonna it's not gonna happen. Just give up on the idea. Paul, answer the behind the actor studio questions. I don't know what they are. I don't have them memorized. I'm on my phone. If I minimize them to go look at those, then the stream dies. You see. Thoughts on Sacha Baron Cohen? I think he's a really talented dude. I'm not exactly sure why his movie career decided to tank. I thought he was on the cusp of being a really genuinely big star with all this. He's a pretty versatile guy. Definitely a great character actor. Got to agree with that. Ever listen to Mars Volta? Yeah, their first album. What was it called? Cicatriz ESP or some shit. I can't remember what the name of their first album was, but I listened to that. Do you still have back pain? Every day, every second of every day, every waking moment of my life, I'm in pain. That's just the truth. It's better sometimes and worse sometimes, but yes. Fibromyalgia. My sister has that. Yes, I'm lucky to not have that. What's your stance on the JQ? I don't know what the JQ is. So, Paul, have you ever read a fan fiction about yourself? Yes. There have been several that have been sent to me over the years. Um, I usually do something sexual in them, which is a little disturbing. I'm usually fucking somebody or being fucked by somebody. Do you remember the first song that gave you frisson? Um, yeah. I kind of got a chill just thinking about it. The Age of Aquarius. I think is it the Mamas and the Papas that sang that? I think it is. The Age of Aquarius. That was the first song I remember as a very, very young kid. My mom playing on the record player, and just it gave me a chill to listen to it. That's at least the earliest one I can remember. The Age of Thanos. Rejoice, for you in your suffering have become children of Thanos. You may think that this is despair, but you are wrong. Thanos has come to spare you from such things. I mean, it's an old 60s protest song, so if you're not into that kind of shit, but when I was a kid, I didn't know what was old music, what was new music. I didn't think about it that way. And that was one of the songs. One of the ones I found myself really repeatedly listening to for that same reason um, is Rhiannon uh, by, fuck, what's the name of the goddamn band? Steppenwolf. No, it's not Steppenwolf, is it? Yeah, it is Steppenwolf. I don't know who it is. No, it's not Steppenwolf. It's fucking. Oh my, yeah, Fleetwood Mac. Thank you. Just brain farting on a fucking name. Um, I don't know why I was thinking Steppenwolf, dude. That's a terrible band. Fleetwood fucking Mac. Yeah, they've got Rhiannon and The Chain, both of which are just fucking. I mean, those are two of my just absolutely favorite songs from my childhood. So what newer band would do a good cover of Age of Aquarius? I don't know, dude. I don't know that it really is a song that I'd like to even hear people cover. I mean, it has been covered before. Um, not to be like super, cliche, but fucking, god damn it, dude. I have such a hard time with names of bands that I haven't thought about in a while, even if I really should know them. Simon and Garfunkel, The Sound of Silence, or any of their songs. America is a great song. I mean, that one really like that song, America by Simon and Garfunkel, is just like well, fucking like goosebumps every fucking time, dude. Oh, the Boxer, is that the name of it? Yeah, I might be. Oh no, that's a different song. I know the Boxer as well. You Hate Africa by Toto. See, I love that song. Ever listen to Poppy? Not usually into pop, but Poppy is pretty neat. Oh, the Poppy, the weird. No, I haven't really listened to any of Poppy's music. Bum 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 bum. I hear the drums echo in the night. Yeah, Africa's a great song. When did pop go to shit? I don't think it necessarily did. I think that there's still good pop music being made out there. You just gotta dig for it. When I was feeling the same way you were feeling, and I'm not a really big pop fan anyway, but I was feeling the way that you were feeling, and I was like, pop is now shit. Nothing is being done that's good in pop. You know what happened? I went looking, and I started listening to the popular pop shit. I started going down a few rabbit holes, and I ended up getting into fucking Lady Gaga and Lily Allen, both of which I really like, both of which are distinctly pop EDM. One of them's more EDM, and one of them's more just straight up like chick pop. But like when you're feeling like a certain genre of music has gone to shit, go digging. Listen to some of the acts that are popular and be honest about it. Give yourself some time to kind of let it grow on you and see if you find anything you like. I totally always do. So I. I try and avoid saying X sucks now because it's usually not true. Oh, yeah, another pop group that I got into because of that, the XX, like a man woman duo with electronic backing and really kind of haunting chant like vocals and shit. Their first album, really fucking good. Pop music. Yeah, dude. I bought myself a Bad Romance. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Marshall, I'll hit you up before I lay back down on the Discord. Probably be ending this pretty soon. I don't know. I might have a little while longer left in me. I just don't feel the least bit tired, and I really should. Listening to you bite into ice is strangely satisfying. Sorry. I don't really even notice I do it. I've just always chewed ice. Punch your face. Yeah. I can argue that some pop is really overdone with basic production, but with some artists, you'd be lying to yourself to say it was bad music. That's what I'm saying, man. You just gotta listen with an open mind. You gotta be willing to listen to something that's a little different than what you've heard, and you'll find good shit in any genre. It's out there. Yeah. What do you think of vaporwave as a genre? I'm getting a lot. It's getting a lot of publicity lately with all the recent vinyl releases. Uh, I don't know, man. I've listened to some of it and I can groove to it. I think some of it is really chill, and some of it is just I don't know, kind of shitty. But that's pretty much like any genre or subgenre of music. I can find some aspect of pretty much everything that I enjoy, even like mariachi music. Well, holy shit. Hakuna Matata. You need some water. Some dad rock music, Paul. Can you say hi to my friend Denis and to me? Hello, Denis, and hello, me. I know you like at least some metal music. Do you ever get into stuff like Megadeth or Sodom? Not really. I skipped over a lot of metal because at the time that Megadeth was big, I was way more into. I mean, when they started to get big, I was way more into hip hop, and then after they got big and metal had kind of moved beyond them, I was way more into alternative rock and grunge and that way more popular genres of music in the 90s. But I've since gone back and found an appreciation for. I mean, I've heard Megadeth songs that I like, but I don't know. I've never been into them. I'd be lying if I said I was. I'm pretty picky with my metal. I'm not. I could never really call myself a metalhead in the true sense of the word. I mean, I play lo-fi hip hop all the time in the background of these streams when I do them for my computer, so I definitely dig it. Have you listened to Dr. Dre's Compton album? Thoughts? Compton album? Which album are we talking about? Are we talking about a new album? Because if it's new, I have not heard it yet. But I mean, if you're talking about what, like the fucking the Chronic, that's the soundtrack to the movie Compton. Oh no, I have not heard it, but I'll check it out. I like Dre. Yeah, just haven't heard it. You know, everyone needs to awaken by Death Clock. Awaken, 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 awaken. All right, well, I'm gonna go try and do the opposite of that and go to bed. Marshall, I'll get in touch with you in just a sec. Give me a couple minutes to get upstairs and shit. The rest of you, good night. Bye.